So this one was written on a property release form from San Diego Police Department. It's a little hard to read. I'll go ahead and show you, but it's not exactly legible. So give me a second. So no one's heard this one. Looking down through oblivion's eye, the brushes beneath the street sweeper kick a flurry of soot and rock. I see paved miles and parked cars, a unit, Newport. A unit on Newport in Ocean Beach would make sense because there's always cops in OB, but it's actually an unlit Newport. I remember begging this cigarette from somebody, so I'll start over. Looking down through oblivion's eye, the brushes beneath the street sweeper kick a flurry of soot and rock. I see paved miles and parked cars. An unlit Newport behind my ear, kicked down by some server from Bice well after 3 a.m. After 11 I can catch some shut-eye. It's just a few hours until the impound opens, unable, it seems, to sleep on bare cardboard in my t-shirt after a 12 a.m. release from Courts County. The clerk in her beautiful blues. Somebody in this town has got to have a lighter. So that's one of them. I'm actually sorting through a bunch of scraps, so you can tell my work is not very well situated, I'm a mess, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this one. This is all San Diego writing. Butterfly wings of trees unfold when staring into naked orb. Fatima's palm, my mind in a palm. My bowl and tummy filled with alm, crystal resonating deep in me. My body aches from lack of sleep. The prison's food must pass, beware. To the hands of all my life is cared. I conjure stone columns as I venture into the red of the rock that I'm crawling through, and into the sky by Tower Jacquin, by bows made man adventuring in. The gas lamp is wetted by the gray dull of clouds. The rain trickles heavily down on the avenues of San Diego. She lies in bed a mile or so from where I've escaped to avoid the morning storm. From my street-side abode I retire, watching droplets bead on the empty tables of the restaurant, where under the awning I've sought shelter. Love fills my heart and mind, but circumstance is restrained. Out again of the institutions, another ode to One Flew Over. The winds off the ocean add a chill to the water, and the chiming of train traffic wake the wet streets. Out on Coronado, men and women in blue fatigue do their morning exercise, some awaiting deployment, the government coddling them with taxpayer funding. The work offered me is shallow, like the outrun gasping of the fresh cadets, and a few miles south there are old men drinking cafe from stove-top mocha pots with thick brown sugar, like churros stirring thick mud. Midway of spring is weeks away, and it is likely I'll head towards Seattle by train car, taking stops in Nevada and lines back to the coast. Missing Ma and Pa more so than the situation with them as I freeze in 7 a.m.'s cold nip. Another on my mind, the longing for her warmth. And she sleeps idly in her home in Little Italy, burrows off 3rd Avenue, of all my fretless youth. These days of true love reflect the earnings of a redemption song. I tire needlessly as I contemplate morning yoga on the hills of Balboa, while my present view is shadowed by tall buildings, some 20 stories high, and oh, what stories they might be at 6 a.m., March 30th, 2016. As I gaze, passing quickly through the realm of the material into the great chasm of the great darkness of unknown to which all particle is bound to fall, the ever-pulsing energy of the universe flows freely in immeasurable waves, flashing bright the light that becomes slowed and enslaved to matter. To matter. No ruler can touch these things without becoming simply what we sought to measure. A new division is sought and 2 notches set so close that they seem one, but under the amplification, the furthering distance become ever apparent at the moment the light bridges the gap and all advance is lost. The microscope and telescope build this universe in smaller and larger form until all measurement is mastered, and still no answer to the question of why do we exist is formulated in the answer as to how do we exist, for one is merely the emaciated disregard of the other. We look through bent mirrors and broken lenses, reading the false form as equal to reflection, observation. The value is both distorted and dismissed. The intrinsic worth is measured not by the rubric of the observation, but rather by the profound record of the observer. Water, as a lens to the seafloor, is distorted by the ever-changing depth of the wind-borne ripples of waves. And a minute of gazing into these shallows might, in an hour, leave your feet dry, or even knee-high. Under its surface, the shimmer creates a murky haze of swirling sand struggling to stay beneath the cusp of shoreline. I trace endless footprints between wave and rock into setting horizon. Though, under the crushing current of the changing moment, I walk upon the sea floor towards a wet window opening to nirvana.